Hey guys, before this week's episode, we want to give a special shout out to the Queen of NE. We will be guest starring on her show, Queen's Court, on Brainbuster Radio. So don't forget to check us out. It'll be called Bad Boys for Life. So Steven and I will sit down and talk with the Queen of NE herself about heels, what makes a great heel, it'll be a great time. So don't forget, go to Brainbuster Radio on iTunes and hit subscribe so that way you can check us out there as well. Again, big shout out to the Queen of NE for having us on her show. Thank you guys very much. And hope to work with you again soon. This episode of Headlock Talk is brought to you by
Austin-based company Naturally Hemp's and their new line of CBD gummies. These gummies are made with 100% baked-in, pharmaceutical-grade, non-isolate-based CBD. What we're talking about here is the entourage effect. The entourage effect refers to the stronger effect you get when combining multiple cannabinoids together, as opposed to just CBD. Full-spectrum CBD, or CBD distillate, tends to be more potent and lasts longer. Unlike some other brands that use a spray-on CBD, Naturally Hemp CBD distillate is baked in, so you know you're getting the full dose with each gummy. I personally use them for all kinds of things, like sleep aid or muscle pain. And did I mention they taste great? They got 5 flavors. Strawberry, green apple, lemon lime, watermelon, and get this, the orange flavor has vitamin C in it. Ooh. So, if this sounds like something you could go for, head over to your nearest Create a Sig vape shop and pick yours up today to see for yourself the difference Naturally Hemp's gummies can make in your life. So, I'm wondering if it's possible to book a match that I care less about.
Yeah? I mean, it's the equivalent, I think, of just like 2% milk. Like it's a very plain match, and most people aren't gonna like it.
Yeah, it's like 2% strawberry milk. Like,
gross.
Yeah.
That's like,
yeah.
Like, are we talking about, like, actually blending strawberries into the milk, or are we talking about just, like...
No, like, the gross, like, H-E-B strawberry syrup.
Like Pepto milk.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Pepto-Bismol milk.
That sounds awful, Steven.
If you couldn't tell, guys, we're talking about the Roman Reigns Elias match upcoming at Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I mean, it seems awfully tame. I mean, they tried on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know, they tried.
They did.
But, I don't know, man. This whole Roman Reigns thing here, they've got the McMahons. I don't know, dude. It's something.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, you know what else we'll see how it goes?
What's that?
This brand new episode of Headlock Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap, indeed. We are back for this week's episode. My name, of course, I'm Tanner. To my left this time here, the one and only Mr. Stephen Grudy.
Hey, everyone.
Hey. Hello.
Hello.
For those listening, this episode just barely clicked here within a hair. Steven's flying out to Seattle here, so we did this super last minute.
Yeah.
And I've got the suds.
Yeah.
If you remember the SpongeBob episode where he has the suds, that's what I've got right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't remember what the suds are, go to YouTube, just type in SpongeBob the suds. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I feel.
It's got a lot of liquids going on.
Liquids. I need somebody to, like, rub dish soap all over me.
Interesting.
Yeah, squeeze me. Is that too graphic for the listeners?
No, I don't think so. I just kind of find it funny that you think that that's how you get rid of the suds.
I thought that's how they got it done in the show.
Well, I guess in SpongeBob, yeah. Okay.
I'm just trying to stay true to life here.
Fair enough. No, I appreciate it.
What a big week, Steven.
Yeah. No, good stuff going on.
What a big week in wrestling for sure. Not Raw and Smackdown wise. Nothing happened there that was worth talking about at all.
Yeah.
What I would like to talk about is one Mr. Jon Moxley. Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about?
I do.
There's just something about that promo, that video package, that I find to be absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
The detail in it. If you pay attention to kind of the story it tells, he's breaking out of the prison walls.
Right.
There's a big dog that chases him to try and bring him back.
Yep.
He hops over the fence.
Lots of metaphors.
Lots of metaphors.
Yeah.
And he walks past the Viper Room in LA, and there's Of course, if you're familiar with the Viper Room, I'm not from LA, and neither are you.
Right.
Whatever LA, I've never been there.
Yeah.
But the Viper Room has the dice turned on the 2 and the 5. I wonder what happens in regards to the 2 and the 5. There's a certain...
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if that... I don't know if that's symbolism, necessarily.
Right.
You know, but...
Well, there was a lot of symbolism in it, so
Right.
it would make sense that it is.
Right. It leads one to jump to that conclusion.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, again, for Mr. Moxley, we don't know for sure if he's actually AEW bound. From what I'm aware of, he's probably going to take some independent dates, get that name back up and running.
Yep.
Maybe he shows up on the 25th. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of time between here and there, but for a wrestler, that's not a whole lot of time to really get back going, unless he went a straight shot into AEW.
I mean, honestly, it'd be cool for him to do the indie circuit run just to get that name back out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you look at this man, and that's Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And just because his name is different from what people are used to hearing it as,
Yeah.
if Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, whatever, came out to Double or Nothing, that would be huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge.
Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of people that are concerned right now, and I've heard this kind of making the rounds online, and there's a lot of people who have their own spin to this here. There's a certain case to be made, or an argument that's being made around, that is, with WWE taking such a hard hit week after week after week in the ratings. I mean, is there actually even interest in an alternative wrestling show? Now, there's some people that say, well, no, WWE is damaging wrestling so hard right now that executives might be a little bit more hesitant to get an AEW thing across the threshold. But at the same time, I think there's an argument that can be made for, if they can say, well, look at history, wrestling only got even better when there was two companies on two major TV stations competing directly against each other.
100%.
Let's try this here. And if it's even further put across that line, knowing that there is a talent like Jon Moxley, and then you add Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho and Cody and all these other guys, the Young Bucks, you add all these other guys into that factor, I think there's certainly a case to be made for, history will repeat itself in that regard.
Right, 100%. I mean, we keep saying it, competition breeds competition.
Yeah.
And, WWE has really had a monopoly on mainstream wrestling for, X amount of years.
Yeah.
Multiple decades. And I do kind of get the idea of, like, okay, WWE's really suffering right now, and so maybe people wouldn't want to go full force into a new, a new promotion or whatever. But at the same time, that, to me, is even more reason to do so.
Yeah.
Because they've been the person.
Yeah.
The promo for the longest time.
Right.
And so now that they're, I don't want to put it too bluntly, but they're on the downhill a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that makes even more sense to really back something big,
I think so too. I really do, and I really hope that that's what happens.
Yeah.
And just imagine, if you're a TV executive and you watch Double or Nothing, and you hear the pop that happens when Jon Moxley walks through those curtains to introduce himself at Double or Nothing. I think that would be great. So, I mean, no pressure, AEW.
Yeah.
But I think the big piece of the jigsaw that's missing here, I think it's right there on Twitter, cutting promos there.
Yeah.
Cutting a video package. That, by the way, interestingly enough, that Dean Ambrose video, it was only roughly about maybe 2 minutes.
Roughly, yeah.
More people watched that within 24 hours than watched SmackDown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's telling right there.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we're going to get to our mailbag, and there's a lot of people asking a lot of questions about, hey, well, what's the answer? What's the fix? And I think we tried to talk about it, and I think I mean, we could have a whole hours-long conversation about, what exactly the fix would be, and we'll try and give, different answers here. But there's not just one straightaway solution. There's multiple different little things that need to be done.
Yeah.
I think to right the ship.
Yeah.
Just some quick rapid-fire news, of course, because I know we want to talk about Jon Moxley a little bit more here. So. We'll take a break from Jon real quick here, because I know we need to talk about some other stuff. Daniel Bryan, since we brought up SmackDown ratings decreasing, Daniel Bryan's now clear from his mystery injury, so that's awesome. Yeah, round of applause.
Yeah.
So that's good. Probably. What's circulated around so far, or what's been reported, is that it's likely he will enter into the Kevin Owens-Kofi Kingston feud, and it would be 3 ways, because that's how they want to book the European tour going forward. That's what I heard on Wrestling Observer from Dave Meltzer. So he's the one who's reporting it. I mean, I take it what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think it makes sense for sure, just because I feel like they really wanted to go down that route with Daniel and Kofi anyway.
Right.
And so, bringing in a veteran like Kevin Owens, I think it only makes a few better.
Yeah, absolutely. The Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, they relinquished the titles. They did that on SmackDown. Steven's very upset about this.
It's just really sad.
You're a big Hardy's fan.
Big Hardy guy.
I get that. The problem is that they don't really have a lot of tag team talent to help make up for it. And I think one of our mailbag questions was asking this, so we're going to get to that here towards the end of the show. Some show news. The Saudi Arabia show is on. It hasn't had a name so far, but Bill Goldberg is scheduled to be there. I don't know in what capacity. I imagine he's wrestling somebody.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, maybe bring back. I just don't know. I don't have an opponent for Goldberg. There's not one that comes to mind.
Not immediately. No.
The first one that came to mind was Kevin Nash somehow, and I was like, well, Kevin Nash would be like broken in half by modern day Goldberg.
Yeah. I don't even think that'd be fun to watch.
I don't think it would be. You know what they could do is they could put Goldberg versus Brock versus Undertaker, and that would be
what?
That would be ginormous.
Here's a huge match with a bunch of guys who were never here.
Yeah, it's like welcome to 2001.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I mean, I'd be super down for it. I mean, I never thought I'd get the chance to say that.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's just kind of interesting, kind of weird.
It's a bit off the walls.
Yeah. Also, don't ever come back, Lesnar.
Well, I think he's probably going to have to at some point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There is an NXT show, but the Saudi Arabia show is complicating that. So I want to say it's either the 1st or the 7th that they're going to have an NXT show.
Gotcha.
They don't know where it will be though. It looks like it'll be the 1st. That's a Saturday.
Said it's NXT.
Somewhere.
It'll
be somewhere.
It'll be somewhere for sure.
June 7th is in Saudi Arabia, so I mean, it would make sense that they would do an NXT show on the 1st.
Yeah.
Which is the Saturday before that.
Okay.
So, I would expect to see, again, more Wrestling Observer reporting here. Probably going to see another Adam Cole Johnny Gargano match, which I have no complaints about.
Absolutely none. Yeah.
And
please do.
They're probably going to have to figure out something with the tag team titles too. So we'll see what happens there. The War Raiders are on Raw for good. Yes, the War Raiders, ladies and gentlemen. Hanson and Rowe.
Yeah.
They're going to be on Raw for good. We'll figure out what happens from there. But NXT's got some really good tag teams still. I hope that Mustache Mountain comes full-time into NXT. I know they're kind of back and forth between UK and NXT, but I just want some consistency here and get a chance to see them have a really good run again. I thought they made for great tag champs, even though it was very short-lived.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm huge Mustache Mountain fans.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's, before the 10 count finishes here, because we're at about 8 right now. Jon Moxley, let's get back to him real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think he's going to end up?
I mean, at this point, it really doesn't make sense to go anywhere else other than AEW, in my opinion. You take a look at the production value of that promo, the symbolism from that promo, and it really just screams AEW, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And like we said at the top of the show, that would be a huge acquisition for AEW. Yeah.
I agree. I agree that AEW would be the landing point. Not so distant second would be like Impact Wrestling or Ring of Honor. I think those would have it, but I don't think as though he's as good of a fit for those as he is for AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also see him just be like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna hang out over here in Progress. I'm gonna hang out over I'll go to Impact for maybe a little bit. I'm gonna kind of tour the circuit and see what it's all about." But
well, also AEW seems to be way more open about sharing talent with other promotions.
True.
So it is very possible that we do see him at AEW, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's on the full roster, like full time for AEW.
Right.
So I don't know.
Quick question before we move on. Do you give any credence to this being a WWE work?
None.
No, that was quick.
None.
No credence.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Cool.
They lost their chance. That promo speaks for itself.
All right, cool. Well, moving right along then.
Yeah.
Because I agree 100% with you on that, for sure. So let's talk about some wordplay here.
Okay,
Steven.
Let's do it.
So we talked about Raw and SmackDown. Wordplay here is our game. Fill in the blank game with a word or a phrase that you think best finishes the sentence. Raw and SmackDown this week, blank.
Forgettable.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a lot of Money in the Bank talk, which is cool. There actually was a decent promo on Raw for the Money in the Bank promo with Ricochet and
you liked that?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I don't know if I necessarily love it or anything like that, but I thought it was good.
I hated it.
Really?
I absolutely fucking
really?
I freaking hated it.
Yeah.
The thing is like you've got McIntyre and Corbin, and they're like, Ricochet's a little guy.
Yeah.
Did your parents let you come into the ring here, little boy?
See, the only reason I say it was okay or good was because they did a much better version of what they tried to do last week, where just a bunch of guys come out and start talking some crap and saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But they did it better this week because not everyone said the same thing. The entrances were really short. I thought the banter was, fine. So comparing it to last week's attempt at this promo, it was a lot better.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, just Raw didn't do anything for me, and
I didn't say Raw did anything for me. I just
well, and SmackDown, I don't think SmackDown did anything even better.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a really awesome match that had Finn Balor and Mustafa Ali tagging together, which was great. They faced off against Randy Orton and Andrade, so that was cool.
Yeah.
But
anytime Andrade gets in the ring, I'm down.
I think that's just like the one highlight that I have over the course of those shows, though.
Yeah.
It was just very, I'm going to use the word underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, I mean, I don't even know, like, if it wasn't our jobs to watch the shows, right?
Right.
I would be like, what am I doing here? Like, by the time that Sami Zayn comes out and is cutting his promo and just, being, like, he's cut the same promo the last 3 weeks in a row, right?
Decent promos.
I mean, they're decent, but where's it going? Like,
right.
That's my whole thing. It's
right.
like, eventually you have to have somebody come out and defend the crowd. And oh man, here's another killer. Luke Harper.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he was originally scheduled to be the one to stand up for the crowd and come out and interrupt him, right? But because and this is alleged here, I don't have any way of validating this, but according to multiple sources, apparently they wanted him to have a southern accent, and he couldn't pull off a southern accent. So they said that they didn't want to do the program with Luke Harper anymore. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, I mean,
WWE, what are you doing?
That's what I've heard. That's what I've read. So, I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
We talked about Money in the Bank here. Men's Money in the Bank lineup. What do you think, Steven? Wordplay here. Men's Money in the Bank lineup.
I mean, honestly, I think it looks really, really good. The word I used was possibly huge.
Possibly huge.
Yeah, possibly huge, just depending on how they do it. I mean, you got Braun Strowman, Ricochet, McIntyre, Corbin, Mustafa Ali, Finn Balor, Andrade, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Those are all huge names.
Yeah.
If they do it correctly and really use specifically Andrade, Finn Balor, and Ricochet to their strengths, I think the match could be really, really good. However, if it's a Braun Strowman McIntyre fight the whole way and everyone else is just dead outside the ring, which is absolutely a possibility.
And then Baron Corbin climbs the ladder.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, we've seen that hundreds of times at this point. But, I mean, you take a look at the talent that's on this card. Yeah. It's possibly huge if they pull it off.
I'm going with big potential.
Yeah.
Definitely big potential here. I like how you have a lot of workhorses. Ali, Ricochet, Balor, Andrade.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Randy Orton's also a big wild card. He performs actually exceptionally well in ladder matches.
Yes.
Which is very strange. You would never expect that really from Randy Orton, but he's just like a killer no matter what. So like when there's chaos, he's like thriving in the middle of chaos, which is cool. Braun Strowman, last year's Mr. Monster in the Bank.
Yep.
And then most people's odds-on favorite from what I've seen online, at least, is Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the success rate of Baron Corbin's awful. He's just there because they need a big heel, and there's nobody else who gets booed harder.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It should be interesting. I mean, I could see Ricochet winning. I could definitely see Drew McIntyre winning, of course.
Yeah. I unfortunately don't see Ricochet winning. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on him just yet.
Probably not.
For a huge push.
Well, and there's consistency problems. It's like, why did Robert Roode come out with his big mustache and beat Ricochet only for Ricochet to get into Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Like, where's Robert Roode at now?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It's just weird. Let's talk about women's Money in the Bank. Wordplay on that. Fill in the blank. What do you think of women's Money in the Bank there, Steven?
Man, I had a really hard time figuring out my thoughts about this card and putting it into one word.
Yeah.
How about you go first? I need a little bit more time.
So we've got Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, and Carmella. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna actually reiterate it. I think it's got huge potential. Right. Yeah. Is it as big of names as what you would find in the men's match? No. Right. It looks a bit sluggish, actually, but I think that the way that Bayley has been performing recently has been top-notch. I would like to see a breakout from Ember Moon. I think she has it.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss is coming back. Naomi's good for some big spots. And they're pretty high on Dana Brooke right now. I think she's trying to seize the opportunity and work her way in. You've got a good hand in Natalya. Mandy Rose is good, is a good hand as well. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that she's got big potential. Carmella is the first ever Women's Money in the Bank winner. So I mean, she's the throwback choice.
I mean, can I steal your word and say potential?
Yeah.
There's good talent in the ring. I do specifically like that a lot of my favorites are in this match.
Yeah.
Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon. I am happy about that, but I mean, I don't know if it's just a star power thing or what it is, but I'm finding it very hard to get excited about this match.
I have a similar feeling in that I find it hard to see a winner.
Right.
Like
I mean, they could go any way really with this.
Right. The one that stands out to me the most is Bayley. Like,
I would say Bayley and Alexa Bliss would be the two big standouts for me.
Right, absolutely. Bayley and Alexa Bliss seem like pretty top notch, and Alexa Bliss has had that feud online with Becky Lynch recently, so we might see that transpire. We know how they like to currently build feuds by what the interactions on Twitter look like.
Right.
So we'll see what happens there, though.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that for sure. On Raw, the main event, which was unfortunate, was a contract signing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be a big downer, but it's like, really, you main evented Raw with a contract signing?
Yeah.
Like, we just had that happen on SmackDown before WrestleMania with, Kofi and Daniel Bryan. A contract signing is not.
Which that actually was a really good promo with Daniel Bryan and Kofi.
Yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
But he's substantially a much better talker than either AJ or Seth, especially when they're being scripted.
Yeah.
So we found out AJ turned heel slightly, maybe, kind of, sort of. He attacked Seth.
He did do that, which is very classic heel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for this one, just for wordplay, I'm going with very welcome.
Yeah.
I really like AJ. I think him as a heel is going to be really, really interesting. And especially with Seth Rollins being, everyone's high on Seth Rollins right now. He's the Beast Slayer, huge babyface right now.
Big fan.
So, yeah. So, I'm going with very welcome. I think it's going to be really cool. We'll just have to see where they go with it.
I'm going to go with... backward. I personally would have rather seen, if we're gonna do, okay, let me back up here. I would have rather seen them be both faces going in, and it just be a respect match.
A respect match, yeah.
However, and I know a lot of people are turned off by respect matches. I'm just like, you mean both guys are good?
Yeah.
But I think Seth Rollins does the heel better than AJ does. AJ's just kind of like a likable looking dude.
Yeah.
And I never really fully bought into AJ being a heel when it was with John Cena in that rivalry. That's why they put Gallows and Anderson with him, because they were like, oh, there's two mean-looking bald men.
Looking, yeah.
Yeah, let's put them with AJ and, kind of set everything here.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have really liked it to be like, Seth Rollins comes out and he's like, yep, I couldn't have done what I did to Brock Lesnar. I want to thank me for being, the Universal Champion. Because if it weren't for me, we would all still have Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah. Just get kind of high on himself.
Yeah, get really high on himself, be very cocky and arrogant. That's how he was really good a few years ago. And I think just turn that dial a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think that would have been nice. But hey, you know what? They're wanting to make Seth the guy on Raw, and I don't have a problem with that either. So it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward from here.
For sure.
Kofi versus Owens. What do you think about Kofi versus Owens? What's a word for that one?
This will be telling.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is this is Kofi's first big match,
Yeah.
And this is really going to set up whether they want to roll with Kofi with the championship, or if they kind of just got a taste of it, really weren't feeling it, want to put it on Owens. But if Kofi does retain here, this will be the first glimpse of what we have as Kofi really being the champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm going to go with, telling's a really good word for that, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with seismic.
Okay. Man, bringing out the thesaurus for this one.
Because I think the ramifications of this are going to be really big for SmackDown going forward.
Very.
Does in more of a meta way, really, but is what I mean here. Does Vince trust Kofi?
Right. Right.
Does Vince trust Kofi to keep the title going? Or does he say, well, listen, pal, the ratings shift down. That's all your fault.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I've been waiting here for an hour.
I've been waiting here for an hour, and you haven't shown up with the title.
Oh, man.
I can just imagine Vince coming out, like, at Money in the Bank, and it's just him in the ring for, like, all the pre-show, and he's just standing around, looking around, waiting
just
for Kofi.
Scowling.
Yeah, just scowling. Maybe somebody brings him, like, a donut and a coffee or something like that.
Let's play a game on how many different things Vince can blame ratings on, other than his show.
Dude, well, he tried blaming, like, all sorts of stuff on injuries, and it's like, oh, so you've never had injuries in, like, the last 40 years of WWE? Like,
right.
like okay, sure. Like, that's something. Sure. Yeah, but the investors were like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. No, but
Totally
I mean,
sense.
it's like, okay, well, ultimately here, Owens versus Kofi, possibly with Daniel Bryan being thrown into the mix here.
Mm-hmm.
If they hot shot the title to Owens or Bryan, I mean, then you can tell that they just felt that Kofi wasn't the marquee.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you can make arguments for and against.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah.
He's cutting decent promos, having decent matches. I mean, I don't see any reason to have to take the title off of him necessarily. I do see the title changing here.
Yeah.
I don't think that Vince does have the trust for Kofi. I mean, just take a look at what Kofi had to do to even get to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this changes anything in Vince's mind. I don't think WrestleMania changed anything for Vince. Yeah.
So, that was some awesome wordplay. I'm glad that we were able to cover that a little bit more. Let's move right along here. One of the more popular segments that we've had in the last week here, we got a lot of feedback from you guys and how much you really enjoyed If Wishes Were Fishes. So, let's talk a little bit here. We'll do one wish each.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you want to do more, we'll figure out how we go here.
Yeah.
So, Steven, if wishes were fishes.
Man, if wishes were fishes, I wish that Backlash wasn't canceled, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And not even just specifically because I want to see X match there or anything like that, but just like Backlash is huge for me.
Yeah.
Like that. It was one of the biggest pay-per-views that we always got. Because when I was younger, we didn't get all the pay-per-views.
Right.
But we got every Backlash. And we got every Survivor Series.
That's cool.
And we got every WrestleMania. And so
Sweet.
Backlash is huge for me. And when I heard that they canceled it just really... I took a blow to my heart, man. To my childhood wrestling fan heart.
Well, and I agree with you there. I mean, back when they first had Money in the Bank, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Money in the Bank's more of like a summertime kind of thing. Like right before SummerSlam, you want to have Money in the Bank because then you can set up things. Like that's how Summer of Punk started.
Right.
Back in 2011. So I agree with you 100%. Backlash to me is like one of those post WrestleMania pay-per-views that you're like, oh, okay, this is where the knife turns from WrestleMania.
Yeah, 100%.
The first memory I have of Backlash was this is silly, but my dad took me to meet a friend at Hooters once when I was a really little kid.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know what girls were. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
But advertised on the front of Hooters was a poster for Backlash. And they were like, we're doing the Backlash pay-per-view, $10 cover, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that was, for that one, that was when Stone Cold and Triple H were the power trip.
Man.
Versus Undertaker and Kane with all the titles on the line. So Triple H was Intercontinental Champ, Stone Cold was World Heavyweight Champ, and then Undertaker and Kane were Tag Team Champions. So all the belts were on the line. Yeah. Plus the wings at Hooters were good that day. So, I mean, yeah, I didn't get sick.
I mean, honestly, little known fact, Hooters wings are fantastic.
Yeah.
Hooters actually has really, really good wings.
A tip for you wing lovers out there. I always ask that mine be a little bit more crispy. So I asked them that they keep it in the fryer for about 5 or 10 minutes longer.
I see.
Just to get like maybe a little bit drier, so I can like dunk the ranch in. With the wings, I get Yeah.
Does the ranch stick better when it's
a little
crispier?
bit? A little bit. Yeah, you get.
See,
that nice
like for me,
yeah,
I really like. I'm a big wing guy.
Yeah.
But really, the wings are just a catalyst to get the ranch into my mouth. And so if I can get the ranch to stick to the wing a little bit better, I'm all for it. I might have to try this.
Fantastic.
You might have just changed my life here.
Hey, I mean that's what I do, dog.
Yeah.
So if wishes were fishes,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give that. A starfish because that makes me happy, and I wish that they did keep Backlash. So I'll give you 5 starfish.
5 starfish.
Yeah, that's a perfect starfish rating there, my friend.
That's a lot of starfish.
That is.
Hell
that
yeah.
is.
I'll take it.
All right. I'm gonna say if wishes were fishes, I would like for Kushida to have a really big run in NXT. I saw his match this week on NXT, his debut against Cassius Ohno.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was solid. It's what you would expect to see from Kushida. I did. There was one thing about it that I was a little bit off on. It stayed really competitive, and they made it realistic, which I can appreciate for sure. I don't think that he should have put away Cassius Ohno like what Matt Riddle put away Cassius Ohno as.
Right.
I don't think Kushida's that big, but there were a few spots where I was like, oh, okay, well, I miss Kushida doing this, right?
Yeah,
if I watch New Japan, I know I would get this in every match, and that
Right.
didn't happen on this occasion. So it was a nice introduction for him, for sure.
Well, Cassius Ohno also is like, he's the put-over guy.
He's the guardian of NXT.
Yeah.
Like,
and so you almost expect Kushida to bring out some of that big stuff just to be like, hey, I'm here. This is what I'm about.
Right.
Even
if it's like, man, I'm struggling to put him away. Let me like bust out all the moves so that everybody's like, yeah. That's what I would like to see. But I mean, some of the matches that you could have with Kushida now that he's in NXT are crazy. Matt Riddle would be great.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens like with maybe some of the guys from Undisputed Era like Strong or Cole or O'Reilly. I think that would be cool.
Roderick Strong Kushida would be awesome.
It would be very interesting for sure. Because Kushida's very technical, but he's very good at reversals, and he's very much a high flyer. He's a little bit of everything, really. Did I say Matt Riddle already? I think
you did.
Yeah, I've got Matt Riddle on the brain here today, bro. Dude, Kushida versus Johnny Gargano would be lights out too.
Yeah,
I think that would be like on par with Cole Gargano. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think it'd be great. I hope for Kushida to do all the best in NXT.
I'm gonna give that 4.5 sushi rolls.
Oh dang! What kind of sushi rolls, Steven?
I don't eat sushi, so I don't know.
Is it like
I didn't think about that.
Is it like maybe like a California roll that has some like creamy avocado and maybe some cream cheese, but like some tuna?
Not a fan of avocado.
Or some salmon.
Not a fan of salmon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really just don't like sushi. But I know a lot of people like sushi.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm sure Kushida likes sushi.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
So do you not like Kushida?
No, I like Kushida.
Okay.
Definitely like Kushida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm going based off of the vast majority of people's likes. I don't like sushi, but a lot of people like sushi.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
4.5 sushi rolls.
4.5. Okay. I mean, that's enough to get me going. Yeah.
Yeah. Enough to get you going.
Yeah. I mean, that's like what about that's a good amount of sushi.
Yeah.
That's a good appetizer. Yeah.
Appetizer.
Yeah.
How much sushi do you eat?
Because Kushida's just getting started.
This guy.
Yeah,
man, that was beautiful.
Man.
No, real question though. How much sushi do you eat,
dude?
in a sitting.
Before I get sick.
Yeah. Preferably, yeah.
Okay, I could probably roughly put down about 15 sushis before.
15 sushi rolls?
Yeah, I'm a big fat dude.
Man.
No, I'm not really. I mean, I'm medium.
You're really not
sized.
that big.
I'm not that fat either. I mean, I am.
See, that's why 15. That seems like a lot to me.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. I've just always been able to put away a lot of food.
Yeah.
Like, and stay in somewhat moderate, decent shape.
Just go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere. Like, I can probably, on a good day, we're getting back to wings here.
Yeah.
I could probably do about 20 wings or more on a good day. Probably between 20 to 30, depending on how hungry I am.
Yeah. I think on an average day, I could probably do about 10 wings. On a good day, probably about 20.
Sushi's very rich, so it's like...
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like, it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, I can't eat too much.
Starting to hit. It's starting to sit a little heavy.
Hit that wall.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
I got you. Well, thanks for the little sushi knowledge.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that we could talk about this on If Wishes Were Fishes.
Yeah. So we got 5 starfish.
Yeah.
And we have 4.5 sushi rolls.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Do you have any other fishes that you want to wish?
I don't think so. Not at this moment.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I think I'm good.
Okay.
We'll talk more about fishes later.
Fish
yeah,
eye.
Fish eye. There you
Is
go.
that the plural?
Yeah, we'll have more wishes for fishes next week.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Let's get into some face turn, heel turn. This is our buy or sell or good cop, bad cop kind of game here.
Yeah.
We go over a topic, we pick a stance. We don't even have to agree, which is the beauty of it here. Let's get into something that I know that you'll really enjoy. Shane versus Miz in a steel cage here, Steven. Face turn, heel turn.
Surprise, surprise. Face turn.
Oh, God. All right, give it to me.
Man, I don't even care. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Like, everyone hates on Shane. I don't get it. I think he's fine. He's not the best heel in the world, that's for sure. He's absolutely not the worst.
Yeah.
I think the storyline they built is cool. I'm down for it, man.
Cool. I mean, yeah, I get that.
I mean, this is just the same thing I've been saying about this feud for the last, I don't even know, like 3 or 4 episodes. It's just junk food. It's just fun to see. I don't need crazy storylines.
Yeah.
I don't need the best booking possible. It's junk food, and I like it.
I'm okay. Look. All right. I'm going to go face turn with the hold on. Don't get too excited here,
I'm
Steven.
about to fall out of my chair.
Jeez.
What?
Look, with the slight caveat that this finishes the thing here. Okay.
Oh, come on.
I just want this to be over. Look.
Come on, Tanner. It's not that bad.
Look. Either Shane's gonna give Miz another potato to the head, and it's gonna end his career with a concussion, or Shane falls off the cage and breaks his neck. Look, one of two things will seemingly happen.
You
here.
think those are the 2 possible outcomes?
No, not really, but I mean, look, those are 2 very realistic outcomes, I feel, because I don't know, Shane never learned to punch somebody correctly. It's either like full of air or goddamn, you almost like decapitated him. Like, somebody check on that man.
Yeah, there's really no in between.
Yeah,
with Shane.
And I just don't want to see him put on another triangle hold. Like, he's now done another triangle hold on Raw, and they zoomed in on it, and it went. Yeah,
it was bad.
It went for what felt like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I know that's not how long it went.
Miz tried to sell it, man. He tried so hard.
Whoever's teaching Shane jiu-jitsu is either
no one.
You think he's just like, I'm gonna watch this video?
Yes.
Okay.
I do think that's what it is.
I'm gonna watch this video on, name me a jiu-jitsu artist.
You got me.
I'm gonna watch some UFC.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. No, I mean, it's not. If someone was training him, it wouldn't look like that.
Will this be escape the cage rules, or will this be like pinfall submission?
Oh, it's gonna be escape the cage.
Yeah.
This whole storyline is all about gimmicks,
dude.
So
I'm calling my shot right now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be perched on the top, both of them together, and Miz actually uppercuts Shane, and Shane falls off through the table.
That's very specific.
Yep. And Shane's going to win the match, and Miz is going to be perched up at the top of the cage, and he's going to be like, what happened?
You're calling that shot?
I'm calling my shot.
Okay. I like your confidence.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to see. Moving on from one Money in the Bank happening to the next here. Face turn, heel turn. Becky Lynch defending both titles in one night. 2 separate matches. One with Lacey Evans and one with Charlotte Flair. There's a lot of different moving parts into this one, Steven, so feel free to face turn, heel turn on whatever you desire.
So, I'm going heel turn
Okay.
on this for one reason. I still think that they need to unify that title.
100%.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm going heel turn on this. Becky Lynch, obviously awesome. Charlotte Flair, obviously awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that I have these matches. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
But I do think that they're missing an opportunity here. That this is the perfect time to unify that title.
Yeah.
A unification of the title is a great thing for the women's division. I think it's time to do it. So heel turn.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go with a. I'm gonna also go with a heel turn here. I think it's a little early for Charlotte for that thing to be a reboot. I think I do agree with you on unifying the titles, and I think it's if anything, they should have put Lacey Evans in the Money in the Bank match, and if they could have just been a little bit better with Sasha, I think that we should have had Sasha Banks here.
Yeah.
Or save that for SummerSlam. I don't know. You could even have swapped Lacey Evans for Bayley, I guess. I don't know. You could put Bayley in there. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many moving parts to this, and I just feel like it could have been a little bit better. I think we're coming up here, and I really hate saying this because I know there's a lot of Becky Lynch fans out there, and I'm a Becky Lynch fan myself.
Yeah.
We're getting a little bit overexposed with Becky.
Yep.
And I think that we need to preserve a good thing.
Yep.
And one promo, one program at a time.
Yeah.
Let's try and sort this out here.
100%. Yeah.
Here's a favorite of mine here as I'm digging through the notes here. Some NXT. Heel turn, face turn, or face turn, heel turn. Blah, 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 blah. Undisputed Era's possible implosion.
Face turn.
Face turn?
Face turn.
Okay.
This opens up a lot of really, really, really cool possibilities.
All right. Hit me with it, big man.
Well, okay. So, Undisputed Era obviously is very, very cool. Everyone likes Undisputed Era. However, there's a lot of talent in that faction.
There is. A lot.
A lot of talent. And so, a lot of these guys, I'm not going to say have been wasted, because that's absolutely absolutely not the case.
No. Yeah.
But this does open up a lot of really, really cool opportunities to have really nice singles matches with a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Kyle O'Reilly, insanely talented.
Insanely talented.
Roderick Strong, insanely talented.
Yeah.
So, like
Adam
I said,
Cole, insanely talented.
Obviously.
Bobby Fish is also very, very talented. I'm very hesitant to say insanely talented because I really love Bobby Fish. As his work is really good in the ring. He can be very humorous at times as well. He's a good striker. He's, I would say, on par with Kyle O'Reilly in that striking department.
Right on.
Or maybe a notch or two underneath. But I feel as though out of the four of them, he gets lost in the shuffle a bit. So I'm gonna go slight heel turn here. With some caveats. I really like the idea of Roderick Strong splitting off. But I do want to keep some of the core together with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. I think you can still, and I'm probably wrong here, I'll admit it because I really like your argument But I think that you could still do some things here with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish being tag team partners. Though, truth be told, Kyle O'Reilly, if given a singles push, would be fantastic.
Yeah.
He had a wonderful, and I can't wait for this to happen if they do implode. He had a wonderful feud with Adam Cole in Ring of Honor, which was great.
Yeah.
They were like blood feud enemies.
Nice.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
I think they played off that a little bit in PWG as well. Roderick Strong, another guy who's really, really super talented on his own. Clearly, they were, a year or two ago, they were clearly pushing him as a babyface.
Yeah.
I just don't, and Adam Cole, I don't worry about Adam Cole. I don't lose any sleep over whether or not Adam Cole's going to be a star.
Right.
But I do
He's
worry.
already there.
I do worry a bit for Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
I'm going to go slight heel turn. I want to see some remnants of the Undisputed Era stay together just to make sure that he's not lost in the shuffle.
Bobby Fish, that is.
Right.
For sure. Okay.
And that's not to say, even if you did do that, you could still push Kyle O'Reilly, and you could still push Adam Cole, both of those guys as singles competitors, too. And even Bobby Fish to that degree. But I just haven't seen enough Bobby Fish in singles one-on-one, to really be like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Right, for sure.
Moving right along. So there is a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah.
There's a big New Japan card this weekend where Okada's going to face Sonata. This is one of his first defenses, if not his first defense, since becoming champion again and beating Jay White. So heel turn, face turn. What do you think of Okada going into a second reign here? Because we didn't really get to talk a lot about the G1 Supercard, you and I together. What do you think about Okada going in as a champ again after being champion for almost 2 years?
Face turn, honestly. New Japan is kind of a little over my head with a lot of the different storylines that are going on. Yeah. I catch a lot of one-off matches with New Japan, so I'm not too in the know with the storylines and everything like that. Yeah. What I have seen from Okada, though, is fantastic.
Yeah.
To put it in one word, that guy can wrestle.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be good. He was a great champion. Obviously, he had a huge run. It is kind of interesting that they're giving him this reign so quick after his last long reign.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve it because he can pull it off.
Yeah. It is very unusual from what I've caught of New Japan so far for there to be 3 champions so quickly in a year.
Yeah.
We had Tanahashi. Well, we've actually had 4 champions this year. We had Kenny.
Yeah.
Who was champion for about 4 days in 2019. We shuffled the pack here and we put Tanahashi in. Mm-hmm. And then Tanahashi dropped the title to Jay White, and now Jay White's dropped the title to Okada.
Right.
The big question here is, how do you keep these matchups from becoming stale? You got to have some new, fresh matchups here.
Yeah.
Guys like Sonata is the perfect way to start. I want to see Ishii face Okada again. I think that'd be fresh. Naito, maybe, because
I don't see why not.
The only reason why I would say no right off the bat is he did have a match. He's had plenty of matches with Okada before, so it's kind of like a Stone Cold Rock kind of dynamic where it's like, we know you guys just don't see eye to eye.
Right.
It's
been played out.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah, I got you.
Ibushi is a wild card here because Ibushi and Okada, they have had some good matches, some very good matches, and I think ultimately Ibushi will be the guy to take the title off of Okada. Ibushi has said he's he's New Japan for life at this point.
Okay.
So he's not going to be rejoining with Kenny anytime soon, it seems. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, they just want to. They should just really make sure that they don't, they don't make it repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Some other big stuff happening this weekend. There's going to be a mystery opponent revealed. So when New Japan put out the Best of the Super Juniors entrance, there was a mystery opponent, and we don't know who that's going to be. It's heavily tipped to be a gentleman by the name of El Phantasmo from Canada. He's very talented. So I look forward to seeing how that plays out. He's most likely going to be the newest member of the Bullet Club.
Right on. What makes you say that?
Because he's a foreign heel kind of guy.
Fair enough.
And that's all Bullet Club.
Yeah. Okay.
So that should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to Best of the Super Juniors, which that's going to take place between May 13th through June the 5th. Okay. Bandito's going to be there. Jonathon Gresham's going to be there.
Hey.
Yeah. Mr. Octopus himself.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay will be in the tournament. I believe Shingo Takagi will also be in the tournament, and I'm a big fan of Shingo.
Hell yeah.
He's, excellent worker. So lots of excitement there. Another big tournament this coming week here. The Progress Super Strong Style 16 tournament. And boy, oh boy, there are some heavy entrants here. Kyle O'Reilly, who we just talked about, he's going to be at the Super Strong Style 16 tournament. Trevor Lee will be at the Super Strong Style 16 tournament. Trevor Lee, that is, just had a debuting match for NXT. It was not televised this week. It was at the tapings, and I don't know if they're going to show this, but he faced another guy, Shane Strickland, who's also debuting, and they apparently had a pretty decent match.
Right on.
I like a lot of Trevor Lee's stuff from PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which was, he was a fantastic heel there. He's going to be a very great heel in NXT. I could see him definitely being like the anti-Gargano right now.
Right on.
You've got guys like Chris Ridgway. Travis Banks is going to be there. I've personally picked out Jordan Devlin myself to win Super Strong Style 16. So lots of big talent there. So
yeah.
I think that goes without saying. I'm going face turn here on that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm going face turn on this as well. We've talked about Progress a little bit in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into Progress.
Yeah.
And I'm personally gonna use the Super Strong Style 16 tournament to dive headfirst into Progress.
Do it, dude.
And really try to get in there and learn a lot of the people. I mean, what better way to do that than to watch a tournament with some of the biggest guys?
Yeah, it's a 3-day event, so it'll be from tomorrow's Saturday, so Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I don't know how quick the turnaround is going to be on Demand Progress. That's how you catch Progress Wrestling is through Demand Progress. If you do a quick Google search, that's how you'll find it. I think it's like $8 a month, so it's well worth your money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you get their whole back catalog. You get a lot of other promotions there too. But this is a good time to do it. And here's something else.
And
Monday
Night Raw.
Yeah, right. Jeez. Monday's Super Strong Style 16 will see Jimmy Havoc's final Progress match. Jimmy Havoc is a legend. A deathmatch legend, a legend of Progress. So it's going to be very interesting to see who will turn out as the opponent. Now, that has gone unnamed so far. Okay? And I know we had some guesses. But I just want to throw down the gauntlet here. And good Lord, I am not saying that this is absolutely going to happen. I have no insight into this. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But just imagine, for example, if it was Jon Moxley.
That'd be sick.
It'd be dope. That'd be a way to make a statement for Jimmy Havoc walking out the door. It'd be a heck of a statement for Dean. I'm
careful
so sorry.
There. About to hit some copyright.
I was hearing the lawyer's pencil scribble on the notepad. That would be great for Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Because he can make an impact and be like, I'm back, indie wrestling. Like, here we go.
Get ready.
And that match would be violent. It would be at times hard to watch, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it would be great.
Oh, yeah.
And it is interesting because I did tweet at Jimmy Havoc when the Moxley video dropped, and I was like, please make this happen. And the next morning when I woke up, I looked at the Twitter again, and there was Jimmy Havoc with he retweeted the video of Jon Moxley. He didn't retweet us, but he retweeted the Jon Moxley video, and he had that pondering emoji. You know, the one where he's got the thumb and the index finger like on the chin, like
yeah.
What is this? So I think that would be very cool if it was Jon. Again, I am not saying that it's going to happen by any stretch of the imagination,
right?
But man, would that be cool?
That would be very cool for sure.
I think that rounds out face turn, heel turn. I think we both agreed here on the Okada thing and the progress stuff and the thing, right?
The things and stuffs.
The things and stuffs. We kind of covered the injuries already. Why do I have Dean Ambrose on the brain right now?
Oh no, man.
This is like,
you're gonna get us sued.
Ah, goodness. Daniel Bryan. He's coming back from injury. Jeff Hardy's coming back from injury. He's going out being injured.
So his injury's real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Jeff Hardy's injured.
That's unfortunate.
It's pretty sad.
I didn't know if that was a work or not.
No, that is he is actually injured.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
It is. It really is unfortunate, and
sorry for the Thunder guys. It's currently raining cats and dogs in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, it's great. I love it.
No, it's pretty nice, but the Thunder is not good for recording. I really hope that it's not picking up a lot of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel as though it has a little mystique about it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, some mystery.
Ooh.
Yeah. Speaking of mystery, let's dive into this mailbag here, Steven.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's see here. We've got plenty of time for questions, it looks like.
Yeah.
So Protect the Business podcast. They are at PTB Wrestling on Twitter. They asked your thoughts on the Moxley vignette. I'm pumped for it.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up there. I'm pumped for it.
I'm absolutely pumped for it.
Yeah. Dean Ambrose in the... Oh, excuse me. Well, no, because I was about to talk about him in WWE, so it's actually correct.
So contextually, we are on point here.
Yeah. Okay. Dean Ambrose in the last few months has been just... It's been very sad.
Yeah.
How they've been working with him. So seeing Jon Moxley come out, I am pumped to see him be his own thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. 100% agree on that. You're the resident Hardy Boys expert. Here's one from Last Draft Standing. Again, that's Last Draft Stand on Twitter. They ask, with the Hardy Boys relinquishing the titles this week, what team should SmackDown create or bring in from NXT to help their tag division? So should they create a new team, or should they bring somebody up, or what should they do to help out the tag division? Because it's a bit bleak there.
It's a bit bleak for sure. I mean, we touched on it a little bit at the beginning of the episode. It would be very cool to see a Mustache Mountain debut.
Ooh.
It'd be very, very cool.
Ooh, yes. I think that man, I didn't even comprehend that at first. Man, yeah, you really could make Mustache Mountain the marquee SmackDown team.
Yeah.
Because they've got the team of Nakamura and Rusev. They've got the B team. Who else do they have?
That's how
Heavy Machinery.
That's how forgettable this is.
They've got Heavy Machinery there.
Which, Heavy Machinery, through no fault of their own, is awful.
Steaks and weights, baby.
Through no fault of their own, but yeah, no.
I don't know. I like that. I like that idea. Mustache Mountain.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. And honestly, those guys have the talent for it, without a doubt. I think they could come in, put on some really, really great matches.
Well, and if you put Mustache Mountain out onto SmackDown, dude, you could get Finn Balor versus Tyler Bate for an Intercontinental match, and I know for sure that would boost your ratings.
Don't play with my emotions,
dude,
Tanner.
All you need, look, seriously, well, we're going to answer some of these questions about these ratings here.
Yeah.
But look, if you just produce good wrestling, if you just produce good content, the people will come.
Yep.
And there's enough people that are hardcore fans that if you knew nothing about wrestling, and if I was like, Steven, come check this out. Look, I know you don't like wrestling, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just come over here and watch this Tyler Bate Finn Balor match with me. I know for a fact that people would be like, what the hell did I just watch? That was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm really pushing for that now that you brought it up.
That'd be really sad.
And, man, I hope that happens. Gosh.
Yeah.
Perfect answer there. Let me see here. Last Draft Standing actually had a question about the ratings decline. I'm going to save that almost for last.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
Let me see here. Philly Sports Passion Podcast has written to us again. They are at Philly SP Podcast on Twitter.
What's up?
Hey, guys. They ask, could the baby face that faces Sami Zayn, could it be the return of John Cena? It kind of makes sense. He's all about the fans, and Sami is anti-fans currently. It just feels like we're going to see Zayn versus Cena at some point, probably SummerSlam, since neither had a Mania match.
I like that. I do like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. I am still holding on to John Cena possibly coming back as a heel.
Yeah.
I'm really still holding on to that. I really want that to happen. But if he does revert back into classic John Cena, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, not classic, but, you know, how everyone pictures John Cena.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect opponent for Sami Zayn. Honestly.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense.
It's almost a little too perfect, though.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Like of course John Cena's going to come out and defend the fans. He always does.
Well, and the other thing, and I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of suggesting it, but it's totally up Vince's alley. Seth needs something to do once he faces AJ. So
yeah.
Seth Rollins could come out and be like, listen, I've heard you come out week after week and run your mouth about how people are entitled or whatever it is, and then he flips it on Sami and says, you know what, I think you're the one who's entitled. You know?
But is it really a good idea to keep that Sami Zayn promo going for no reason?
No, it's absolutely not. You know, it's absolutely not.
Because you'd have to wait until after Money in the Bank.
Right.
And do you really want Sami Zayn coming out for 2 or 3 more weeks saying the same thing?
How many weeks did we see Lacey Evans just walk down to the ring and then turn around and do nothing?
Yeah, I'm not defending it.
Right.
You know, like,
I'm just saying, like, that's the pattern that I see with Vince. Like, I could see that happening.
Right.
I mean, what would I ideally like to see? Maybe Braun make him catch these hands. Though that's been done before, I think.
Yeah. A lot of people have caught these hands, for sure.
I don't know. I just don't want to see the same thing happen week after week with Sami Zayn. Like, first time it was cool. Second time, okay, fine. Now I'm like, where are we going here?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, like, every time he comes out, it's a great promo.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Sami Zayn cuts great promos. That's not, like... That's not up for debate, you know? It's not up for discussion, but, you know, when you come in week after week and say the same thing, you know?
They have a follow-up question regarding Sami Zayn, and I think this could possibly help produce another pathway here. Could Sami, Bobby Roode, and Eric Young, all Canadians, form a Canadian heel stable? I mean, I could see that happening.
I can see it happening. They certainly haven't done anything to set that up. So.
Right. Well, and who would they feud with? I mean, that's a bit tricky, too, because there's not, like, a designated... Raw is all over the place. I feel like there's, like... You can pick up a puzzle piece, and then you're like, I think I can find something. But it's like a puzzle comprised of 300 different kinds of puzzles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just one piece from each one, and it's like, this makes nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a lot of pieces that don't connect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just feels so weird. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for factions.
Yeah.
So, like, sure.
Yeah,
like, I'm not
why
going to
not?
say I don't want that.
Yeah, why not?
But you bring up a good point. Who the hell would they feud with?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, man. Let's see here. Ooh. Let's hear from our friend Mike Charlip at MikeJC821. Who Mike, by the way, if you follow him on Twitter against MikeJC821, he's got a great wrestling blog. So if you follow him, he's got a link to it on his Twitter site. He's got some very interesting opinions.
Yeah, good to hear from you again.
Yeah, it's good to hear from Mike again. He is relatively angry this week, though. Some of the questions that he had, they're hard to answer.
A bit loaded.
So things like, we'll make this real rapid fire here, because I feel like there's a lot of ground to cover. Why is Braun Strowman in Money in the Bank and not Cedric Alexander? No idea.
No one knows.
I like Cedric Alexander in terms of his work rate, but he's not at the star level of Braun right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably where Vince's head is. But
star power.
Yeah, star power.
Yeah,
I think it's what.
Did
it
you
comes down
notice
to.
Braun put the shirt back on?
I mean, fine. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I didn't know I wanted him without the shirt
shirtless
until it happened.
Shirtless Strowman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right with it.
Oh man, some of these questions. Mike also asks, how come it's impossible for them to have a good men's tag division on both shows?
See, I'll answer this one.
You got me there.
Yeah, I'll answer this one. Tag matches inherently are harder to do than a singles match.
Yeah.
And WWE can't even be trusted to do singles matches.
They can't.
That's why.
They can't even be trusted to name good tag teams. Just throwing it out there.
Viking experience.
Yeah. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
On that note, you know how we were like, oh, okay, well, Viking Raiders is a bit better,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
When they were having their match, apparently their new finisher is called the Viking Experience.
I saw. Yeah. Or I guess I heard.
I just have no idea what to
That's
think
Vince
anymore.
saying, "Hey, okay, we hear you. We'll change it, but I'm still the boss."
Right.
That's what that
absolutely.
is. Yeah.
Speaking of more Vince here, why did Vince bother making a women's tag division only to ruin it in a month? So angry this week, Mike. Man,
I don't necessarily disagree with you, though.
I mean, I don't think it's completely ruined.
No,
there is a bright spot.
Yeah.
A very big bright spot here. And that is Asuka being paired up with, oh man, I'm having a brain fart right now. Asuka and Kairi Sane. Thank
nailed
you.
It.
Oh
You're
my
welcome.
gosh.
You're welcome.
You nailed it for sure.
Oh, thanks.
That's a bright spot. I think that they're definitely going to run the show. They're the team head above shoulders that are going to take the belts off the Iconics.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't even understand why they put the belts on the Iconics in the first place.
Right. Well, and they have the same problem with the women's tag division that they do with the men's, and that they're going to force themselves to have to put two good singles competitors together to make something else happen.
Right.
Right. They don't. Right. They're not going out and intentionally signing women's tag teams right now, which is hard to come by anyway.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Let me see here. Why is Baron Corbin in the Money in the Bank and not Cesaro? You got me beat. I have no idea.
Because people boo him a lot.
Right, people boo him a lot. I would have much rather seen Cesaro.
100%. Yeah.
That's just me.
I mean, I've had my fill of Baron Corbin for my entire life at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
There's really no point to him being on my TV, honestly.
Goodness. Here's an interesting question. Sports Opinions Podcast. Again, that's for those who are on Twitter. Sports Opinion 30 rather.
Hey guys.
On Twitter.
Hello.
They ask, with the independent circuit being so attractive for so many wrestlers, how can you see the WWE and AEW, for that matter, continue generating enough talent to remain top dogs? So this is a bit more complex than I think what it looks like on paper, because believe it or not, there are actual independent companies that cooperate with WWE. And AEW themselves are very open in the fact that they're like, yeah, we want to work with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, we'll even work with WWE. Like, let's do this. Right? But yeah, I mean, let's be real. WWE could not create NXT UK without Progress, which they're partnered with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you're seeing Kyle O'Reilly and Trevor Lee in the Super Strong Style 16 tournament this year.
Yeah.
There's another company called Evolve that they're heavily partnered with here. And that's where Johnny Gargano made a really big claim. You know, so I mean, there are companies that will work with WWE, and like I said, AEW is willing to work with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's just about finding the right talent, and I think that it's really hard right now because both companies are trying to gather up as much as they possibly can.
Well, it seems like WWE is letting a lot of them go without a fight.
Well, it seems like they just don't know what to do. Like they have too much, and they don't know what to do with any of it.
Yeah,
like that's what's really hard about it.
See, the interesting thing about this question to me is, what do you consider being the top dog? Are we talking about ratings? Are we talking about viewership? Are we talking about this promo has the best matches?
Right.
You know, what are we talking about here?
Right.
If we're talking about what I think we're talking about here is the biggest promotion. You know, who has the most star power, the biggest names, everything like that. And the answer to that question is money.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the easy question. You know, who has enough money to get the biggest talent to put on the big promos and everything like that.
Well, and both do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that what's difficult is both went after Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega was the generational signing right now.
Yeah.
Right. We're probably gonna have to. It might be 5 years. It might be 10 years. It might be even longer until we've determined another talent that's on his par.
Right.
The only other person that there's only probably two or three other people that are within striking distance of Kenny Omega as far as talent is concerned, and they're either signed by New Japan or WWE.
Yeah.
So, and that's not to say that there's nobody else that's good over in AEW. That's not true at all.
Right,
there's tons of talent in AEW. But to be on the star caliber that you could have Kenny Omega at, it's hard. New Japan's trying to be big here in the States, and they're going to find it difficult as well. I think they're going to find out by the time G1 rolls around in Dallas that they really need AEW.
Yeah, 100%.
So I hope that answered your question. I know we kind of tangented a bit.
Yeah, we kind of picked it apart a little bit, but that question needed to be picked apart, I think.
I think so. Last question here. Again, I want to come back to the last draft standing question. Again, they are...
Thank you for the questions, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much for the questions. We really appreciate having a mailbag section. We like to have your feedback and your questions so we can help try and dissect them and see if we're right, see if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Again, Last Draft Stand on Twitter asks, what are some big things that you would like to see change from WWE that could stop their recent decline in ratings?
That's a very big question. There's a lot of little things that go into why WWE's ratings are dropping.
100%.
I do think, though, the biggest thing that's going on is they're putting way too much weight on storylines and way too much weight on dialogue and not enough weight on the actual freaking matches.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about the drama. And obviously I like a good promo.
Yeah.
I like drama. But that is not at all the most important thing. The most important thing is getting in the ring, putting on a fantastic match that makes my jaw drop, that makes me jump out of my seat.
Right.
And to put it bluntly, very rarely do I get that from main roster WWE.
Right. And I think this is not a fix-all by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it would help steer the ship in the right direction. You have to make wins and losses matter again.
Yeah.
You have to make it to where, oh man, Ricochet lost to Bobby Roode. That means that he's not going into Money in the Bank, but Robert Roode is, right? Or, you know, and to a greater extent, make the titles mean more. You 100%. Make the titles mean more by making wins and losses mean more.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe would be taking much more seriously if he wasn't losing in non-title matches every week.
Right.
Like, okay, he lost to Rey Mysterio in a non-title match. Great. Now what?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a match announced for Money in the Bank with Rey and Samoa Joe yet. I mean, maybe I'm missing something.
Right.
But where are we here?
No, you're 100% correct.
Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar. That should be an amazing accomplishment because Brock was, well, let's be real, he was an absentee champion.
Yeah.
And that killed the title. And in turn, that makes Seth Rollins not look nearly as good as what he should.
Right.
Because there was no real wins and losses to back up Brock.
Well, I mean, also the WrestleMania match was not good.
It wasn't great. I mean, it was a big moment for Seth.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a crazy match.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you look at the masters of storycraft in wrestling, which I think that there's we don't know what AEW looks like yet, obviously. But you look at New Japan and you look at NXT, which is ironic that it's a WWE company,
right?
And yet it's telling the best stories in the company. But they make the wins and losses mean more. They make the titles mean more because the wins and losses mean more.
Yeah.
Right? If Okada goes out there and he has a killer match with Sonata this weekend, all right, and Naito comes out afterwards and says, I'm challenging you, right? Like, I won my matches this weekend, I'm challenging you, I deserve a shot.
Yeah.
If Naito wins his matches in the next 2 nights, who's to tell him no, he can't have a title shot?
Right.
He is on Okada's level. I mean, so
well, I mean, a lot of the
little things like that.
No, for sure. Like a lot of the, and we've touched on this a little bit before. Right. A lot of the title scene in WWE right now is just popularity contests.
Right.
There's no rhyme or reason to who gets a title shot. It's just, oh, who are you pushing this week? Oh, right. Okay, him. Cool. Guess he gets a title shot.
Right. And I think that there's, and I hate to go on a diatribe about this, but I think this is a fitting question to kind of ramble on here. The Attitude Era and the concept of PG-13 wrestling for WWE, I think, is a huge illusion. Okay? Never in Vince McMahon's 40 years of being WWE's chairman, the guy who's overseeing everything, for the vast majority of it, except for a short 5-year period, which was the Attitude Era, the other 35 years of that were geared towards children. It was selling Hulkamania, selling Hulk Hogan dolls, getting kids to buy the videotapes and the gym set. It was, WWE does not market towards adults.
Yeah.
Just generally speaking. That's why they have like Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish is a big thing, and kids from Make-A-Wish love WWE. That's why those things go hand in hand. If you're an adult watching WWE like we are, it's hard to be like, man, I'm really into this. Like right now it's really hard, and it's it's scripting, it's creativity, it's Vince McMahon changing his mind every week.
Yeah,
but I mean, the Attitude Era is more or less a blip on the radar in terms of WWE's overall history. If you're an adult who appreciates wrestling, if you look to the past, I mean, the NWA was probably the more adult-themed one.
Right.
WCW, which became, it was NWA that became WCW, essentially. What else do you want me to say? I mean, they had, their storylines were, this guy's the champ. Here's Ric Flair. He's the champ. And you know what's cool about Ric Flair? He beats everybody all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? The champion makes the most money. And the champion's the guy who flies first class. And the champion's the guy who's in the high-rise hotel room. The champion gets to ride into the stadium in a limousine, right? Like, you need to place importance on the little things like that.
Yeah.
In order to make the whole rest of the product feel big.
Yeah.
or at least to feel more satisfying, I guess, with the wins and losses and all that other stuff. So I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm going on a diatribe.
No, dude, that is yes to all of that. 100%. That was a really good tangent.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that. I hope that made somebody's day. I mean, it's going to be really. I'm not going to try and ramble on much more than this here, but I know that people are like, well, when's Vince going to leave, right? If Vince left tomorrow, their stock would just die.
Yeah.
Because the people who are invested in WWE, the actual company, people who are invested in them, not people who just watch, but people who have money at stake, there are people who believe Vince created wrestling.
Right.
And that's not true.
Right.
Vince created this brand of wrestling.
This type.
Yeah. Vince is like Brian Alvarez made, not Brian Alvarez, but Jim Cornette. Yeah, I was watching a documentary the other night, and Jim Cornette made this reference that Vince McMahon is like almost like the love child of P.T. Barnum and Donald Trump. Like total showman, but like crazy businessman.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. If people have bought into that persona of Vince's, if he left tomorrow, that stock is going to go way, way down.
Yeah.
It would take a lot for them to resurrect themselves out of that, because people are going to say, well, Vince knew wrestling. Who's this Triple H guy?
Right.
Yeah. Who's Steph and who's Shane, and why should we trust these people over Vince? I mean, Vince leaving right away is not the best thing. The best thing would be if Vince did leave, he needs to do it very quietly.
Yeah.
Like just be like, yeah, I'm the chairman. I oversee the day-to-day stuff and blah 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 blah. Right? Like sign off on the big things. Go run XFL. That's cool.
Yeah.
But leave most of it, the actual day-to-day, like the actual running of the company, to Triple H and Stephanie and Shane.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts on that. But I mean, Vince leaving anytime soon, I don't see it happening.
Yeah. No.
So, a few quick thoughts here. I know I mentioned the Jim Cornette thing a moment ago. There's been a great documentary series that y'all need to check out. It's Vice's Dark Side of the Ring. So if you're a cable subscriber and you've got Vice, check that out. Dark Side of the Ring is awesome. The most recent one's on the Von Erich family, and if you don't know anything about the Von Erichs, they are incredible. Incredible story. Very tragic, very sad at times. But an awesome story nonetheless, and I highly recommend checking that out. They've got some other great episodes about the Montreal Screwjob and Bruiser Brody, and there's just a lot of really great content. So big thumbs up to Vice, especially on the Von Erich documentary. And one final note here. We sent out a message. We saw one Mr. Jonathon Gresham, Mr. Octopus himself.
Yep.
On Twitter. He was in Texas not too long ago, and he posted a big old picture of him, his platter of brisket and ribs and all that stuff. And we threw out the gauntlet and said, hey, next time you're in Texas, we will take you on a barbecue excursion. And he wrote back to us, and he says that, man, this should be recorded, that he's down. So, Jonathon Gresham, this is my public laying down of the gauntlet to you here, sir. Whenever you come to Austin, you hit up Headlock Talk, and either I will make you a homemade brisket, or we will go out to Lockhart and we'll have a real good time. And we'll have some of the best brisket that Texas has to offer.
Oh, yeah.
And ribs, if you like ribs or sausage or whatever it is that floats the boat.
All the barbecues.
Yeah. So this is our public invitation to you, Mr. Octopus, Mr. Jonathon Gresham. We would love to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any final thoughts here, Steven? I know we went on and on about Vince and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I did just want to take a quick second to thank everybody.
Yes.
Thank the listeners, all of our fans. You know the numbers a little bit more. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Last week's episode was our most ever listened to episode ever. We got into countries that I had no idea that we would ever get into.
Yeah.
Like India, Romania, Nigeria, in the Caribbean, we've got listeners there. So I'm very very thankful. First off, thank you guys so much for listening and supporting us and continuing to tune in. We couldn't do this without you, the listener, knowing that you're out there.
Yeah. No, honestly, with these numbers, guys, it's very humbling.
Very humbling.
When Tanner first approached me about starting Headlock Talk, or not even, it wasn't even Headlock Talk at the time. Just some kind of wrestling podcast.
Let's talk about stuff.
You know, I didn't think I had enough knowledge or enough know-how or that really anyone would want to listen to me or listen to us talk about wrestling, but you guys have proven us wrong. Thank you so much.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you, because like I said, you know, when we were trying to get this formulated tonight, I know we just did this like right in the nick of time, because you're leaving and I'm like dying, and I don't think that we, you know, if you were like, dude, you know, you just take the weekend off, whatever. No, we wanted to do this because of you, the listeners.
100%.
So we thank you guys. We're extremely blessed to have you guys as fans, and please continue the support. Obviously, you can check us out at on iTunes. Obviously, Headlock Talk, Spotify, Stitcher. YouTube. Visit our YouTube page where we post the videos and stuff like that. We're working on some new ideas and, you know, trying to get some other bits and pieces together. Maybe random show reviews where we just pick out a random show and we review it. Or possibly Headlock Talk After Dark.
Oh man, we've been teasing this for a while.
Where we go off the chain. You know, we get unleashed.
The only problem I have with that is we could get sued.
Not necessarily, you know.
I don't know, man. See, I keep myself pretty tame. On Headlock Talk. I don't want to be, you know, spouting off curse words in y'all's cars or anything like that. But
it's the power of editing, my friend.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
If I don't have a filter, it might get hairy.
I mean, we've been trying to draw up these you know, maybe some T-shirt ideas. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe some sticker ideas. Maybe a sticker that we can send you with, like, if wishes were fishes guide chart or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We got lots of ideas.
But we, again, sincerely from the bottom of our hearts, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for continuing to support us. We greatly appreciate everything that you guys do for us. And, just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, you guys, again, we're Headlock Talk. Find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure to do that for sure, so you can get all of the great wrestling content that we put out week after week. And for any new shows that we might have, you know, you'll definitely get those if you hit that subscribe button.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But yes, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit us up on Twitter if you haven't yet done so. Follow us on Twitter at Headlock Talk. We talk about stuff like headlocks. And talk. So follow us there. Once again, thank you guys, and have yourselves a great weekend.
Thank you guys. Later, y'all.
Later, y'all. My ass is